Hello guys, you're welcome to the tutorial once again, and in this very tutorial we'll be discussing on the item number 6, which is array index of. Um, by the left side of the screen I have my number array, which is unsorted. So I have 219945, and it goes on like that. Now the index of array, the index of method of the array, what that does is you can pass in from your array, you can pass in some elements, and then the method helps to locate the index of the item being passed in the array. Take for instance, in our array we have some numbers there, and when we look for the index of that number, it will return us the index or the positional index of the number being passed in the array. So quickly let me put that on my screen. My array dot index of. So quickly I want to check what's the index of 2 in my array. So let me pass in 2 in there, and I can store that in a variable. So let me say let answer equal to the index of 2. So when I console log the index of 2, so this will locate the index of the number passed within my bracket here 2, and it will store it in my declared variable here, which is answer. So when I print that on my console, I say node index array. So that is the index of 2 in my array. Remember, array uses zero indexing value, so it starts giving the index from number 0. So 2 is at the index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, and it goes on and on like that. So when I pass in 1 here, it will return the index of 1 in my array, which is at position index number 1 currently. Now when I pass in let me say 5, so this is what we'll be expecting on the console. This is 0 1 2 3 4. So 5 is at index position number 4, so which is what I'm having currently in my index of, and that is how the index of works. And what I have next is the last index of the array. So instead of index of, let me put in last index of, last index of 5. Now this will return the last index of, and let me pass in 2 in here. And I really want to show you the difference between the index of and the last index of array method. So when I pass in that, and okay, let me still bring this up, and okay, let me call this answer 1, and this is answer 2. So let me print answer 1, and quickly let me print answer 2 on my console here. So now answer 1 is meant to print the last index of the index of 2, and answer 2 is meant to print out on the console the last index of 2. Okay, so this is the output of that very array method. Now the index of actually locates the index of the first, where the first index of the item being passed in the bracket, while the last index of looks for the item and then search for the last index, that is the last place where that number being passed appeared in your array. So what the index of does is, okay, once it comes across the item being passed, and it will just return the position of that item there, whereas the last index of will not return immediately it come across the item being passed, but it will keep searching until it arrives on the last index of the item being passed. So that's it. That's the difference between both of them. They all search for the index on or the position of the item being passed, but the last index of locates the last item in the array. The index of just short circuits when it comes across the first item, whereas the last index of searches through all the item in the array, even if it comes across the item being passed, until it gets to the last item of the array, and then it will return you the last index or the last position of the item being passed. So thank you once again for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.